All right, we got 15 minutes going on. The movie we're talking about is Uncut Gems, directed by the Safdie brothers. It was my first time watching it today. You watched it a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And, okay, I don't know what this says about me, even though I know exactly what this says about me. Why did I find a movie about two old men that feel like their life is life is going too fast for them? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
Probably my favorite movie of the year. Parasite's another movie I really love this year, which is about an old man that feels that can't keep up with life, has no plan. And now I watched this movie today, Uncut Gems, about an old man who cannot keep up.
Interesting.
And so I found this movie deeply, deeply relatable. I found Howard Ratner just like, oh my God. And there's that scene when he's, just that scene when he breaks down.
Mm-hmm.
He's bleeding from his nose after getting thrown into the fountain, and he's crying, and he's saying, I'm trying to do my best, but nothing I try works out. And that scene just sums up the whole movie to me, just because sums up my life to me. Because it has that similar thing of like Parasite, where when he tries to hold down the wound and his daughter says, no, it hurts. Like, he just tries to keep doing the right stuff, but it doesn't work. And I think this is the year of movies about old men trying to do the right stuff, but it not working. So what do you think that the anxiety of trying to be liberal, but like people keep telling, like, no, you're not doing it right.
You're doing it. Wow, that's really interesting.
That's sort of, I think that's the neuroses that that we're seeing, at least because it's a bunch of male-directed movies. But it's something that I do relate to.
I think there is a level of respect to gain to have for directors that are directing these movies of like feeling like
even though
like
they're two young guys.
Yeah, like people having that feeling. For there should be respect towards them from like the liberals, I guess. And like just from other women, and like you can see from that perspective, people that don't like Quentin, they can see how much why Greta loves him so much. And it's probably because of that.
The attempt. And the anxiety over knowing you're not doing it right.
This acceptance
and
of
this sort of like, I really shouldn't be here anymore.
But you're doing it.
You're still, and it's still your thing, and you're too good at it to stop.
It's good, and they're confident in it, and there's no reason to not be confident in it.
And this is what I love about Uncut Gems is that meant the sort of framework that they use of, they start with the mines in Ethiopia, and then you sort of slowly go into the gem, and then you do this weird David Fincher like opening title credit sequence with the weird fucking like music. That's
I was so confused. I was like, this is not going to be this movie.
It's cosmic, and I thought I was in the wrong theater.
That's brilliant.
And I could see those like two fucker directors just laughing at everybody thinking they're in the wrong theater when it opens up and it says Ethiopia, and you're like, isn't this about the NBA and Adam Sandler? What is happening, you know?
Oh,
but that's exactly the thing, where they go into the gem, and the gem, you realize, slowly transforms into Adam Sandler's colon. And then you realize Howard Ratner is the gem, and later on in the movie he says, this is a very valuable gem. People say if you look into it, it's so old that you can see the story of the universe. And that's the thing. I think this Uncut Gem stands as a sort of, you could see the story of the world through it. And I think it's because the one thing that it has that Once Upon a Time doesn't have, and that Parasite doesn't have, is that there's a bridge. There's kind of a bridge in Kevin for Parasite between the younger generation and the older generation, possibly feeling the same anxiety. But in this one, it's the Safdie brothers, they're young, so they're able to film those club scenes properly. The anxiety I feel when I go into that type of club, I've never felt it more vividly than in this one. And that's because they did it accurately. Where some people, when they see those club scenes that feel like they belong in this generation, they'll be like, yeah, that's where I belong. They won't really relate to Howard's character feeling like everything's going too fast. And when he, just everyone being faster than you is kind of the feeling I got from it, you know?
What you were bringing up before, like the whole movie almost summing up the entire world history, just them making it real in the end by saying it's not worth millions of dollars, it's worth a couple $1,000.
Yeah, that's the thing. The world, the story of the universe, I think, is summing up is people falling behind, betting on themselves to catch up. People falling behind, betting on themselves to catch up. People failing and then trying again. And like the myth of Sisyphus and everything. Like the boulder falls and you're gonna keep trying to push it up. And sometimes you get there.
Then you're gonna fail again once you get there.
Yeah, until the ultimate failure, which is
death.
You get shot.
Yeah. Oh, good Lord. I loved that celebration. Like, he did it. No. But I love how... But I didn't leave the theater, like, sad. I'm like, oh, man, he got shot. I left her, I'm like, damn, his girlfriend's rich now. Like, she can do anything.
That's interesting. Because, you go, okay, he gets shot, and then you go back into the wound, you go back into his body, and then you realize, oh, you're back in space, and the credits are coming up. Yeah. So you realize, okay, you go into any gem, you go into any person, you're going to see this story happen. This sort of constant attempt at success that end in failure and frustration, and then eventually death. Yeah. So that's the story of the universe that I think that is in it.
Yeah, and then there's a reminder, I think, going into that space that there's still other people alive besides you, besides the person you're reading about or watching. And that is, like, the whole... his girlfriend... Like, he made the money for her. He didn't really make it for him. Because I think because of how much he loves her.
Oh, okay. I think she loves him. I don't know how much he loves her.
I think he loves the providing, and he loves the attention.
I think he loves the idea that... Well, that's what I said. She's the reason why he thinks he can catch up. Why he thinks he can stay in the clubs. Why he thinks he could be friends with Lakeith. Why he thinks KG is going to bring him back the Uncut Gem. She's the reason why, because she does love him, he thinks, oh, so I can be a part of this new generation.
Yeah, like that, exactly that. Like, he loves her, but not her, but like,
again,
he loves
the idea
that.
of her.
Yeah.
Like
Of course.
Every fucking asshole guy.
Every guy.
Yeah.
In that, you see... I mean, he... Technically, the director allows the girl to be the best person from this movie to come out on top, really. And, like, I think he did make the money for her because that's his bridge. That's what his mental bridge is. Like, that's what he thinks will keep him into that. Because, of course, he thinks that he's a sugar daddy.
Right.
But she loves him. And
let's talk about her.
Yeah.
How cool. Let's just go back to that scene that we started raving about, which is, I think her name's Julia Stone, which I feel she's really fantastic. It's her and Anna de Armas in Knives Out are sort of my two. Awkwafina as well, but she's sort of like, you knew it was going to happen, but... Yeah. And Anna de Armas, I saw her in Blade Runner 2049, and that's where I was like, ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The entire time I watched that movie, I was like, there she's from something.
Yeah. So those two, I feel, are like the breakouts. Like, if the Oscars had a breakout performance award, they'd be in the running for it for sure. But I love... They
weren't nominated for any of them.
No. Anna, I think, was nominated for a Golden Globe.
Yeah. It was only Aqua and Caitlin Dever. Yeah.
But So the thing that convinces us that she does love Adam's character, for me, it was her cleaning him up and all that stuff, and her going to the casino and being the first person to actually have faith in him. That's the thing that I can... just having faith in him and actually going through with the process, because no one has faith in him, not even his family, probably because he ditched them, which is another him, like...
being
betting on himself, saying, oh, I can ditch the family. Is also a weird genre thing going on, where I can ditch the old school mob movie and these, like, people, like, shaking you down and go into this new school club, like, ecstasy, people are doing cocaine in the bathroom with The Weeknd type movie. But he doesn't fit in any of those anymore because he wants to leave one, but he's too old for the other. So again, just that sort of anxiety of, like, I'm not in the liminal zone, you know? Like, I don't belong anywhere. And that's where, like, him in that salmon shirt in the club just looks ridiculous. And then when his wife tells him, you look ridiculous. So, like, not the young people won't accept him, his old people won't accept him, so he's just screwed. But...
he's the ultimate middle.
Yeah. But aside from the club scene, it was the sexting scene, which this movie made sexting romantic somehow. I guess there's always a romance to it, but this one is like legit.
Yeah.
Like to see someone, I never thought of that, because you realize the work you put into it when you're sexting somebody, but when to look at somebody and to look at somebody take the picture of themselves, to look somebody set the room up for you, just to, it's so sweet.
The way she gets so excited too,
Mm-hmm.
and like how I love the most angry you see from her is how angry she is about being embarrassed by him catching her doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like she's like, why would you?
Yeah.
And like that's the angry she ever, even when they're yelling at each other,
Mm-hmm.
it's not the same. Like there's almost this pullback that's
Yeah.
like she loves him.
Yeah.
They're gonna fight, but she loves him, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if like that anger, that's like the genuine like embarrassment.
Yeah.
You only see that in like a genuine relationship.
Yeah. Did you expect her to walk in with somebody? I half expected that. Like for him to like hide and be all sweet and be like, ooh, I'm gonna...
I did expect it.
Right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't happen.
And that's the beauty. That's the beauty.
I think
of
that's
it,
where
yeah.
you're like, oh shit, this is legit.
Yeah.
This is not some...
Mm-hmm. Like she legit comes in and she went to buy the wine.
Mm-hmm.
She went to get set up the candles.
Yeah. And then and then they get in the fight after the club,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like a legit like powerful fight, and you're like, okay, some Long Island girls are gonna fight like this, but then the Safdie brothers, the two directors, show that powerful thing, which is when you leave behind your main character, who's been driving this whole movie, who you begged to have on your movie when you were like in your early 20s, when you emailed Adam Sandler, hey, can you do this movie for us? And he ignored you, and then you go back a decade later and he says yes. So you leave him behind for this new actress. This new actress in her first movie, I think. And Howard's in a cab, he goes away, and then they stay on her. They do a tracking shot of her walking back to the club, and the people are like they're like heckling her and stuff. She's like, you're out in the cold and everything. But you don't see her show that relief you might have. Like if you fight with somebody that you're not really into, maybe you'll keep up with the fight, but you probably will have some sense of relief once they're finally gone. You'll probably have the sense of relief, and you'll say, okay, cool, he's gone, we broke up, now I can go fuck the weekend without any guilt.
Right.
But you don't see that. You see her wanting to work it out as she walks back to the club. Like everything in her face.
She just like this. I love like the next thing that you see of her after that, when she comes back, she's like in the office. The like this behind the scenes torment in her face, like just behind her eyes, you can tell. And of course, you have like the normal girls looking like they just went through a breakup. She's like, no, she went through like a breakup. Yeah, like she looks wrecked. And like I get it, like a lot of movies have like shown that with like girls that have sugar daddies. They're like so messed up because they lost all the money. She's like, I don't give a fuck about the money. Yeah, I just want you.
But in a way, she's as reckless as him because she keeps betting on him, and he keeps on betting on himself, and we see what that gets him to. And she keeps on betting on him, and she'll end up heartbroken. She gets the butt tattoo, which it's a tragedy because they keep, and you as the audience, you keep betting on this person, and then when he wins, but he wins twice, and the movie tells you after he wins that first time, and you realize he didn't win, they're like, you're screwed if you bet on this guy. You're destined for failure. But then if Howard is everybody, if he could tell the story of the universe through him, through the gem, by betting on the world that we're in at all, are we just betting on a lost cause? Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like the directors set her free by killing him.
But, okay, and, that's interesting. Yeah.
Because, they allow a cycle to be broken, and she's given a choice of whether or not she'll go into another one or stay on her own path.
So that's the thing you said, a cycle is broken. And we're hinted at that in the beginning too. After the fight and she walks off, the one time the cycle is broken in the movie is to follow her. And now he's gone. So now we can follow her and see what cycle she ends up in.
Yeah. And I think they're smart in not showing her afterwards, because they can't write about her next story. They're just writing about Adam.
Okay, this movie has really, like, in the past 15 minutes, it's gone up my brain. It's like really high. It's frenetic. It feels like a fucking panic attack. A lot of it. The score is insane. And it feels sweatier than 1917, like we said. This movie's fantastic. 15 minutes are up. I think this probably should have gotten nominated for Best Picture. I'd say over 1917 is a similar adrenaline rush thing. But any last words?
Watch it.
Cool.
No one's really watching it.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.